Hello, everybody. I'm Rudrani, and welcome to Spotlight Sessions podcast. My guest today is absolutely amazing. She lives lives by her own rules. She speaks her mind. She's witty, and she's definitely warm and beautiful. I'm talking about, of course, Soha Ali Khan. Thank you for doing
Are you
this.
talking about me? I was like, who's coming? Who's joining us?
I said witty.
Yeah.
I said lives life by her own rules.
Do I
And
though?
speaks her mind. Okay, we'll find out. I have always assumed that. And speaks her mind.
Do I though?
Oh, I hope then we start today.
Let's see. Maybe we shouldn't always say what's in our minds also.
Oh, like that. But no, I do. All jokes apart,
Thank you.
I think it takes a certain kind of confidence. It takes a certain kind of security to be Soha Ali Khan. Not all women can say that they feel that way. They try to. We try. So today we are going to try, exploring that, telling the world why I said all of that before they start telling Nepo baby lappa, which I keep hearing all the time.
As long as there's baby in it somewhere, I'm happy to be referred to as an infant. In my mid-40s. Any kind of baby is fine.
Yeah. What an interesting journey you've had in the industry as well, right? You started, of course, everyone knows your story. You're extremely, extremely educated, well informed, knowledgeable, with all Oxford and London School of Economics, and then, of course, coming to Mumbai, and that 3 months of stay in Mumbai changed your
Are you
life.
going to ask me like a general knowledge question now? Because don't.
You know what? I'm pretty sure you'll actually manage to answer that, but no, I think our
Let's just let people assume that everything you said is actually correct and up to date. Because the truth of the matter is, I was my most intelligent 25 years ago when I was in college. Ever since then, it's all downhill.
But intelligence is not just about the books, right?
No, it's right. It's
So you've learned so much along the way.
I'm really street smart, not.
But I have seen a few places where you kind of say, I regret doing Dil Mange More and all of
Yeah.
that. But I want to know what was going through the mind of that confident young woman, as you were at that time as well, who came to spend this 3 months in the same city as her brother and then ended up doing something completely different.
Yeah.
What was happening there for you to make that switch?
I have always lived life instinctively and made choices that seem right to me in that moment. And sometimes, with the power of hindsight, you realize that perhaps that wasn't the best decision. But I think it's important to make those mistakes. And it's important to live your life. If somebody tells you don't do this and you're not ready to absorb that, then you might rebel against that. You might still do what your heart tells you to do. And then you have to self-discover that there was a reason why you shouldn't have done that. And that's part of the learning process. I came to Mumbai actually to be a banker. I was working at Citigroup. I worked for a grand total of 15 months at Citigroup in Lower Parel. I did not enjoy it. I wanted to make my father proud, as many young girls do, and he was proud. And then I was faced with that decision of, should I go against my parents' wishes, or should I do something that I really want to do, which is act, which is something that I have consciously I've stayed away from it because my entire family is in acting, but it's something that I want to do. And so I decided to follow my heart, not tell my parents, and I signed a film, which was actually a Bengali film before Dil Mange More, which was fun. Iti Shikanto, which was nice, and it was, there was some regional media that was paying attention, but not national media. And
The subject itself was very different.
yeah, it was different. But it was a national award-winning director, and good.
You're playing
all
a
the back
national-
performance. Yes, so it was fun. I enjoyed doing it, and it went across well. I remember my mother saw it and she said, "You have potential," which is a big compliment coming from her.
Is your Bangla as good
As what?
as before?
It's as good as before.
খুব ভালো না মোটামুটি
আমি বুঝতে পারি
বুঝতে
একটু
পারি।
বলতে
Not bad.
not bad. And then came Dil Mange More, which didn't go down as well as I expected it to, or I wanted it to, I hoped for it to. It's not that I would have not done that film. I think I would have chosen a different role. At the age of 20-something, you choose the character that you relate to, and so I chose the character of Neha, who chooses her career over
The boy.
over the boy. I didn't realize that if you choose your career of the boy, you automatically write yourself out of the role of the heroine. So I think I would have taken Aisha Takia's role.
Really?
Yeah.
Even now?
Yeah, I'd be the heroine, no? I want to be the heroine.
But your choices post that haven't in that sense, been heroine-like, if I would like to
No,
say?
because actually I do want to relate to my character.
Yeah.
Having said that, now, today in 2025, there are roles that are not typically hero-heroine. There's a lot of weightage now being given to characters and fleshing them out, especially when you're looking at series in the OTT space where you have the luxury of time over many, many episodes to explore other trajectories. In fact, people end up connecting more with those other characters sometimes than the principal hero, who tends to be like sometimes boxed by what he's allowed to do, what he's not allowed to do, his image, his character, etc. So now I think that, I can actually, today, I might have still chosen to be Neha, but then I think it was the wrong choice.
It's very interesting that you say that, because your parents were very disappointed that you chose this.
Yeah.
Right? And like I said, you were extremely diligent in your studies and you continued to do that for a while. Interesting, because at that event, it was your book launch where Saifa said that, I think my mother thought very differently, because she came 3 months here to stay with me and then she chose film. So obviously, I think in some way my mother must have blamed me in that way.
Completely.
Is exactly what that happened?
She told me before I moved, I said, I'll go to Mumbai and I'll stay with Bhai. And she said, you can stay with Bhai, but do not join films. And I was like, of course I'm not going to join films. Like, my mind and my heart are in a completely different direction. I'm going to work at Citigroup. I'm going to get my work experience. I'm going to get my work permit and I'm going to move to London. And that was the plan. And then, of course, things changed. And it's not that I think it had to do with him, but I do think when you're influenced to the world of acting, little bit glamour, it is seductive. And that was definitely appealing for me. The paycheck was definitely appealing for me, because I realized that if I've worked for 12 months, what I've earned at Citigroup as a banker is a fraction of what I could earn in 1 month. And the basic maths of that, I was like, I think I'm going to go with this and I'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I'll go from film to film, and I have the backing of my education. I have work experience. I think I'll be able to do something else if this doesn't work out.
Would you have done things differently if hypothetically you would have gotten the chance? Would you have taken a different route? Today when you think over it, sometimes all of us have those moments where we sit down and think, would I have taken a different route?
No, I'm very happy. I think, if you take different routes, where I am today, I'm very happy with the decisions that I've made. And the important decisions are your choice of career. For me, my choice of husband. I really enjoy my daughter and parenting and seeing the wonderful person that she's growing up to be. The city that I live in is challenging, definitely, but it is one that I really enjoy living in, and I can't see myself honestly living anywhere else. So from that perspective, I really enjoy being who I am. Now, we always envy things about other people. We're like, I wish I could get that role. I wish I had her hair. I wish I had her height. I wish I had an opportunity to do these things. But do I actually want to be that person in totality? Never. I only want to be myself.
I started the interview by calling you like living by your own rules. But it's very interesting that your family members...
Ask me a long question now, because I want to eat. Very long question.
Let me put in all the, like ABC questions. So there are two parts to this question, and there are two anecdotes that your family members have mentioned about you. First was your mother saying that when you were a child, about 6 years old, you asked questions were like, oh, my brother is a prince, right? Like,
Yeah.
my brother is a prince, so who will he marry?
Yeah.
And who will I marry?
Yeah. I think the question was that he's a prince, so whoever he marries will become a princess and then a queen. But I'm a princess.
Yeah.
So when I marry, will I become a queen? Will that person become a king? I think very relevant questions for
Very
6-year-old.
relevant, that where I was coming with. Also questions where you said that, you know how it works for the men.
Yes.
And the lineage, because they take over the family name.
Yes.
That doesn't happen to women.
No.
So we'll go there. But you obviously, these are very innocent questions asked by a 6-year-old. Informed, I must say.
I do think that I benefited from a good, secure family background. Of course, there was privilege in terms of income security.
Sure.
There was the ability to have access to a good education. There was no distinction made between myself and my brother in terms of लड़कियां ऐसे करते हैं, लड़के ऐसे करते हैं, तो फर्क है. ऐसा कुछ नहीं था. In fact, most investment was made into my education. Tertiary education, higher education. Even when I wanted to study history, that has no correlation to getting a lucrative job by any means. So all those things, I think, just gave me the sense of that I am worth something. That my parents think that, what I want is something to be taken seriously. And that's where your sense of self-worth also comes.